Before I get into this video, I want to tell you guys over here on Sage about our gaming channel. I'm going to be playing Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 on stream tonight over on our gaming channel Mystic Zora. This game is one of my absolute favorite games of all time, and I would love to bring you guys from Sage over to the fun. To diversify myself from Pokemon stuff more is my primary goal. So if you guys are interested in seeing me play games like Persona 4 Golden, Final Fantasy, other Naruto games, Dragon Ball, Jump Force, and more anime games in general, I would go check out Mystic Zora. Mystic Zora will be in the description below and in the iCard above. Okay, enough of that though, let's move on to the video.
The third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi. This man was regarded as one of the best ninja of his time amongst the great nations of the Naruto ninja world. Hiruzen was not only the third Hokage, but he also had the guidance of the first and second Hokage under his belt. He also had a vast amount of jutsu and can really spot the potential of other promising shinobi. Recently, I was watching Naruto again, and I got to the part where Hiruzen dies. To be honest, it made me really sad, because other than Itachi, Hiruzen is my second favorite character in the entire series. I don't know what it is about this old man that drives me to him. I'm not sure if it's his passion for his people, or if it's simply because he was just a good man with a pure soul. Truth be told, he kind of reminds me of my grandfather. I think that may actually have more to do with it. But personal feelings aside, today, I wanted to talk about Hiruzen, and just go over how I feel about him. Without getting into too much detail though in this intro, let's just hop into this man's legacy. The Naruto series never truly let us see Hiruzen anywhere close to the pinnacle of his abilities. He was 69 when he battled Orochimaru, and Orochimaru straightforwardly taunted how far the quote-unquote god of shinobi had regressed in his mature age. Indeed, even toward the end, when the four Hokages are gathered back, they are brought back as they were at death. Since Hiruzen is the main Kage that lived to mature age, he by and by gets the worst part of the deal and looks feeble. However, we're contrasting him with peers that had passed on in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. Edo Tensei's recovery doesn't change the way that he's far over the hill. The early part of this series said that Hiruzen was the strongest of all the living Kages. Given this is the time frame of youthful Anoki, a dust component Kekemora client, and likely the world's most remarkable dwarf. The third Kazekage with his magnetic sand, and the third Raikage that battled the rampaging Eight Tails by himself, shows that Hiruzen was really a threat. He's likewise hailed as conceivably the most grounded Hokage period. However, that was before they fleshed out exactly how groundbreaking Hashirama was. It appears to be ridiculous to put Hiruzen's pinnacle that high. In any case, it appears to be conceivable that Hashirama and Madara's most epic accomplishments could be for the most part obscure to the overall population, since Hashirama did such a great job of shielding their fights from affecting the town. As for Tobirama, they gave us more stories about him, and the series says that Hiruzen contrasted well with him in battle in his more youthful years. That is a trustworthy spot for him to me. All things considered, he utilized each of the 5 elements easily, and used yin-yang techniques, had faultless chakra control, and knew each strategy in the leaf, including the clan ones. Flexibility like that is elusive, and it has a counter for most things a foe could toss his way. I could perceive how he would be a much more noteworthy Hokage than Tobirama was. I believe a good point to make is that when individuals in universe think about a solid Hokage, they likely consider them ensuring the town beyond what the harm they can cause. Defense as opposed to offense. All things considered, we don't know that there was ever a problem where 2 Kages battled each other straightforwardly prior to Orochimaru's antics. By that norm, Hiruzen's entirely high on the list. He's not the most noteworthy of all, as Hashirama and Naruto both have him beat through and through, and even in the security of the town from epic dangers. However, he's no weakling either. In the event that you truly get down to positioning him, I figure a great many people would put his quality, Tobirama's and Minato's, in a similar level in some request, with Hashirama and Naruto above, and Tsunade and Kakashi underneath.
Hey guys, at this point in the video, you guys are probably going to hear a little bit difference in the audio. That's because before I was recording in Arizo's closet. Now I'm back home at my house, so audio should sound relatively back to normal. Hope you guys enjoyed the vid. Hiruzen experiences something very similar that Madara and Danzo experience. We never genuinely observe them at their best. Presently, Madara is the opposite. We possibly observe him when he is much more powerful than he was ordinarily, while we just observe Danzo that didn't want to be around, or simply little glimmers of him. So with Hiruzen, it's difficult to state. we realize that he didn't have the crude quality of Hashirama with the powers of Edo Tensei that fundamentally have limitless chakra. It refills chakra pretty much almost instantly, and Hiruzen never really showed anything close to that level. Hiruzen additionally doesn't appear to have some kind of OP jutsu like most Kage do. He pulls off some cool jutsu like the Shuriken Shadow Jutsu, however, nothing really staggering like the Hadeshin or even the Lightning Armor. Also, if I mispronounced it, I do apologize, I'm not very good at pronouncing things. This was the man that got reanimated. I continually hear that as a purpose behind why Hiruzen is among the most sorry Kage is in light of the fact that he had his shine while he was revived, yet neglected to do so. Everything he did was show a decent amount of speed, tossed enormous shuriken, and uncovered that he could do each of the 5 chakra natures. The reanimation jutsu brings you back to the point that when you just passed on. Indeed, even though Hiruzen had chakra that would continually refill, his real chakra reserves were little to his prime. Furthermore, let me say, first Hokage kicked the bucket in his prime. The remainder of the revived Hokage passed on youthful, except Hiruzen. I think it's difficult to agree with individuals who talk trash to this elderly person for, well, being an elderly person. I personally prefer to switch as such of reasoning and state that he would be among the most grounded for enduring a similar time of brutality the other Kage kicked the bucket in. Now, one of the hardest things to cover here is fame. What's more, I scorn going off on the whole fame thing. The explanation being that I like to utilize proof. At that point, I can see myself and make an opinion on it then. Fame makes that very hard, and regularly doesn't coordinate with an in-universe reality. That being said, Hiruzen was given the title God of Shinobi for knowing the library of Hidden Leaf Jutsu. This would in fact put him with Hashirama on fame alone. As for many other Kage, they don't get holy names, especially not with the word God in it. Even in his old age, long after he officially retired, he was still able to beat Orochimaru and 2 Edo Hokage, who, while weakened, were still considered Kage-level fighters by the watching of the Anbu. And Hiruzen was holding back because he didn't want to fight his former masters and former students. So, is the 3rd Hokage underrated? The answer to that is really a mystery. It's hard to call based on what we just know. We can call him the weakest until you really think about it, because most of it contradicts itself, because they tell us things that make him seem strong, but then we watch and it doesn't add up. So unless they touch up on his backstory and give us details of him and his abilities in his prime, we may never actually know the answer. Well, that wraps up this segment of Hiruzen Sarutobi. Do you agree with my thoughts? Let me know down below. Also, be sure to tell me who you think the most underrated character in Naruto is. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Mystic Sage and turn notifications on so you don't miss any anime content. With that being said though, I'm Mystic Sage and I will see you next time.